Ever since it was introduced in 1953, the Chevrolet Corvette has been a symbol of American genius, combining design and unrivaled performance. Most often called America's sports car, its legacy spans decades of breaking records, innovation, and engineering. Amidst all this, one name stands out as a symbol of high performance: the Z06. Introduced in 1963 as a package ready for racing for the second-generation Corvette, the Z06, built with cutting-edge engineering, became a legend almost overnight. The Z06 was created with one goal in mind, which was to dominate the Sports Car Club of America production class racing. Chevrolet deliberately kept the Z06 under the radar, making it available to customers who had inside information on its purpose and abilities. Of the 21,500 Corvettes produced in 1963, only 199 came with the Z06 package, making it a rare machine. At the heart of the Z06 was a Rochester fuel-injected L84 327 cubic inch small block V8 engine. This engine delivered an impressive 360 horsepower with 6,000 RPM. Built with an 11.4 to 1 compression ratio, with a solid lifter camshaft and a forged aluminum pistons, the L84 was a powerhouse, and it pushed the Z06 to deliver out-of-this-world performance. To handle the incredible power of the L84 engine, the Z06 was paired with a wide-ratio M24 speed manual transmission. Under the car was a real suspension with a posi-traction differential, allowing the car to have improved handling and stability. The Z06 was also equipped with features that improved its performance. The braking system was constructed with vented backing plates, cooling scoops, a vacuum booster, and a dual master cylinder. In addition, Chevrolet offered an upgrade to the fuel tank, replacing the 20-gallon fuel tank with a 36.5-gallon fiberglass tank, cutting down the need to refuel during racing. The Z06 became a legendary vehicle, especially after proving itself in competitions like the American Challenge Cup, where drivers like Junior Johnson took the wheel, pushing the car to its limits. The Corvette Z06 experienced highs and lows, majorly caused by periods of innovation. After the 1963 release, Corvette did not continue to offer the Z06 package for the following C2 models. Instead, the company focused more on developing high-performance options. Among these options was the L88 427 cubic inch big block V8 engine. Introduced in 1967, the L88 engine boasted 430 horsepower, although when tested, the actual output exceeded 500 horsepower. In 1968, as Chevrolet transitioned to the third-generation Corvette, C3, the Z06 name disappeared from the lineup entirely. This lasted for over 3 decades, during which Chevrolet introduced different high-performance models, but they did not resurrect the Z06 throughout this. Chevrolet focused on delivering other options. For example, the 1970 LS6 454 Big Block in the C3 was a heavy powerhouse, while the C4 generation introduced the ZR1 in 1990. Nicknamed the King of the Hill, the ZR1 was powered by a 5.7-liter V8 designed in collaboration with Lotus. The Chevy Corvette C2 was quite similar to the C1, as it carried over similar elements from its predecessor, featuring a compact cabin with a short rear end and a signature long nose. One of the most notable and biggest changes was the replacement of the 4 round headlights with folding pop-up lights. The bumper and grille got a new redesign, and the coupe version was released with a split rear window, which was quite eye-catching at the time. The Stingray's development was inspired by 2 main GM projects, the Q Corvette and the Stingray. The design idea behind the first ever Stingray model, known as the XP720, was manufactured to improve the handling quality and practicality of the ride by increasing the passenger and luggage space. One of the most notable advancements of the C2 generation was the manufacturing of the Corvette Coupe. Before then, the Corvette consisted exclusively of convertibles. The futuristic fastback coupe featured a unique split rear window and a bold design with two separate panels divided by a narrow body panel. This design did not last long and was replaced by subsequent models with a more conventional one-piece rear window. The C2 retained the quad headlights from the previous generation, but hid them with folding mechanisms, which was designed that would remain until the C6 generation. Another practical touch was the doors of the coupe, which extended to the roof line, making it easier to enter and to exit the vehicle. Designers originally planned functional hood vents, but this was difficult because of the increase in the production costs, which forced them to make these features decorative. The practicality of the interior was upgraded with a bigger glove box, and the dashboard had updated round gauges, including a bigger and more visible speedometer and tachometer. However, the lack of an external trunk meant that drivers had to store luggage behind the front seats. The striking exterior of the Chevy Corvette C2 grabbed attention, and the enhanced chassis played a huge role in its success. The quick-ratio ball-race steering and shorter wheelbase made handling and maneuverability easy. Even though a short wheelbase could make it more difficult to drive, the engineers worked on weight distribution by reducing weight on the front wheels, which made the car lighter, causing the rear wheels to carry an additional 80 pounds, boosting traction. The standard braking system featured 11-inch cast-iron drum brakes on all four wheels, with increased width for improved stopping power. For those seeking more, optional brake packages included power-assisted brakes, finned aluminum drums, and centered metallic linings, which were feature designed to enhance cooling and performance during intense braking situations. The C2 Corvette offered a variety of engines throughout its production run, and at the heart of the lineup was a 327 cubic inch small block V8, which came in several configurations over the years. The 1963 Stingray was released with a standard 250 horsepower 327 engine and optional upgrades that increased performance to as much as 360 horsepower. The car's lighter design gave it quicker acceleration compared to the C1. In 1964, Chevrolet focused on refining the design and mechanisms of the C2 rather than making drastic changes. The faux air intakes on the hood were removed, and the faux vent on the rear pillar of the coupe was made functional on the left side. The suspension system saw slight improvements, enhancing ride quality and handling, while better sound insulation made the cabin quieter. Drivetrain choices remained largely the same, although the 365 horsepower engine received a new 4-barrel Holley carburetor, which replaced the previous Carter carburetor. These updates made the 1964 model a more polished version of the original Stingray, resulting in a slight increase in sales, and customers appreciated the incremental enhancements. By 1965, the Corvette Stingray saw more significant upgrades. A groundbreaking addition was the new braking system featuring 4-wheel disc brakes, a first for the model. Engine options expanded with the introduction of the 396 cubic inch big block V8, boasting an impressive 425 horsepower. A new 350 horsepower small block V8 also debuted, now equipped with hydraulic lifters instead of solid ones for improved reliability. Visually, the hood design was simplified, removing indentations, while the front fenders gained fully functional vertical exhaust vents. These updates not only enhanced performance, but also reinforced the Stingray's aggressive styling. The 1966 Stingray continued to emphasize big block power, offering two versions of the 427 cubic inch engine, one producing 390 horsepower and the other 425. As demand for big block engines grew, Chevrolet reduced the small block options to just two, the 300 horsepower and the 350 horsepower models. The front grille was updated with an egg crate design, and a new emblem adorned the hood corner, adding subtle aesthetic changes. Inside, headrests became available as an option, improving driver comfort. The final year of the C2, 1967, is widely regarded as the pinnacle of the generation. While the overall changes were relatively modest, they refined an already impressive formula. The 3 large fender vents were replaced with 5 smaller ones, and a single backup light was positioned above the license plate. Convertible models with an optional hardtop featured a fashionable black vinyl cover. The highlight of the year was a 427 cubic inch engine equipped with a Rochester 3x2 barrel carburetor, nicknamed the Tri-Power. Officially rated at 430 horsepower, its true output was closer to 560 horsepower, requiring 103 octane racing fuel. The return of the Z06 marked an important period in the history of Chevrolet. After decades of not being available, the C5 Z06 made a return with a 5th-generation Corvette. Powered by the LS6 5.7-liter V8 engine, it produced 385 horsepower in the year it was created, but later was upgraded to a capacity of 405 horsepower. An important feature of the C5 Z06 was its improved engineering, including a unique suspension tuning, a titanium exhaust system, and a fixed-roof coupe design to reduce weight and increase rigidity. 2006 and 2013, the C6 Z06 raised the bar of performance even higher by introducing the LS7 7.0-liter V8 engine, which was the largest small-block V8 engine ever produced by Chevrolet. With an output of 505 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque, it delivered power across the rev range. Lightweight materials were used to design this model. Instead of the standard steel frame, an aluminum frame was used, and carbon fiber components were used for the floor panels and front fenders. Because of this, the car weighed just above 3,100 pounds, giving it an impressive power-to-weight ratio. Between 2015 and 2019, Chevrolet introduced the C7 Z06 model with a supercharged 6.2-liter LT4 V8 engine. This powerhouse delivered 650 horsepower and 650 foot-pounds of torque. The C7 Z06 prioritized downforce and aerodynamics, with features like adjustable front and rear spoilers, an available Z07 performance package, and wider tires. The C8 Z06, also known as the 8th generation Corvette, was a major shift in philosophy and design. At the heart of the vehicle was a 5.5-liter LT6 V8 engine with a flat plane crankshaft that allowed it to rev up to 8,600 RPM. With 670 horsepower, it is the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in a production car. The C8 Z06 focuses majorly on track performance with advanced aerodynamics, bespoke suspension setup, and lightweight materials. Highly valued among enthusiasts and car collectors, the 1963 Corvette Z06 is an iconic piece. In 1963, only 199 units were produced, making it a very rare model. Out of those 199, just 63 were equipped with a big tank, which featured a bigger 36-gallon fiberglass fuel tank, making it more desirable due to its endurance racing abilities at tracks like Daytona. Today, an original 1963 Z06, if auctioned, would cost over $300,000, with some reaching even higher prices. The value is not only because of its limited production and racing history, but also the legendary status it holds in Corvette history. The combination of historical significance, driving performance, and rarity makes the original Z06 a fantastic piece for car collectors, and its value is on a constant rise. Looking ahead, the Z06's future models will likely continue to push the limits of performance, with advancements in hybrid and electric technologies potentially shaping the next generation. Chevrolet is expected to build on the C8's mid-engine layout, further redefining aerodynamics, handling, and speed, keeping the Z06 at the forefront of high-performance vehicles for years to come.